All right, it is time for our dear people who picked this gorgeous blue pear. Not the pear that, not the color that pears come in nature, but maybe it should be. This is a really nice heft to it. It's really one of the better ones. I think that's because the lower circumference is kind of like perfectly my fist, so it feels really nice for me to hold, I think. Or not, I think, I know. It feels nice for me to hold, I guess it's just what I'm saying. So, yeah. Alright, Spirit, please give me some guidance for everyone watching this who have picked this pear. Please, Spirit, may I have some guidance for everyone watching this who picked this pear. Oh, yeah. There were 9 options in the intro, as you saw, so you will also be getting 9 cards. And then just like some fun little quotes, or just like phrases that I like and wrote down on a piece of paper. Fun stuff. Okay, that didn't really fall out, so I'm not gonna take it. 3-3, everyone. 4-3-3. 2 more card, Spirit. Advice for pear people. Interesting. I don't know, these 3 cards kind of jumped out, and this one fell out before I started asking, so I'm just gonna leave that there as a bonus card. Okay, so you are struggling with other people. Let's look at this one too. Okay, I'm gonna put it right here. Alright, so you have the 5 of Swords here, and the 3 of Pentacles reversed. The 3 of Pentacles is about collaboration. It's about, all these people coming together to build this beautiful cathedral. But you got it reversed. So that tells me that there's a little problem. There's some issues in that collaboration. Just like friction with your coworkers. You just cannot seem to get on the same page. And that's what this 5 of Swords is about, and swords are about the mind, and they're about like communication. So kind of like anything you say, or really anything they say, kind of always ends up leading to a fight because one of you feels like the other's trying to like get one up over them, or like act like they won the argument, I don't know, I just feel like I keep imagining like increasingly passive aggressive email chains, where like well, in the training booklet, it says this thing, and that's how I did it, so I'm right and you're wrong. Obviously no one would write a work email like that, but just like that sort of tone, that just like really breaks you, like this person coming at you, like they're so much smarter, like they know everything. And then on the other side of that 5 of Swords and 3 of Pentacles, we have the 5 of Wands. And yeah, you're just all fighting each other because you all want to get ahead. That's kind of what the 5 of Wands is very much about for me, just like competition and trying to get ahead. So because you're in this highly competitive work environment, you're just picking at each other constantly, and you can't build something together like this because you are technically co-workers. You're not enemies, you're co-workers. You're supposed to be helping each other. You're supposed to be working and creating together, And in the middle, we have this Hanged Man reversed. Right, it's usually like this, but it's like this. The Hanged Man for me is so confusing, but because like he's upside down, so that when I see it, I figure it takes me 5 minutes to figure out if it's reversed or not, but this is reversed, confirmed. So the Hanged Man is very much about being in an uncomfortable situation and using that uncomfortableness, using that lack of comfort to see things in a new way, to find unexpected clarity, and you got it reversed. So that's what you're not doing, my dear blue pear people. You're not allowing yourself to see things from a new situation, like the Hanged Man, he's hanging for this thing, and his face is like still totally serene because he's like achieved peace or whatever. And by staying calm, he can see the way in which looking at things from this upside down perspective actually helps him and allows him to see things from a new perspective, So even though he's like tied up, he's like happy, So yeah, so definitely a lot of interpersonal conflict here for my pair people. Can I have a clarifying card for the Five of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, please, Spirit? Clarifying card for the Five of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Are you going to fall out? No? Yes? No? Yes. Ooh, 4 cards again. Shall we do it like this time? Interesting. So, sorry, my elbow suddenly just got so itchy. That means something to you. Sometimes I'll be watching a tarot reading and the tarot reader will be like, sorry, this just suddenly happened. I'll be like, that's my fault. I do that all the time. I'm just sending in that energy. Sorry, tarot reader. Now my ear itches. So yeah, if this is one of you, chill out with the itching, dude. I guess you need it to like get your sign or whatever, but still, I don't like being itchy. Okay, so yes, so this Three of Pentacles reversed. Below it, we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is about like going out with friends and drinking and just having a good time together. And obviously because of the pandemic, none of us can do this. And that's why this tension's even worse, because like usually before you would have these fights that would be kind of easily smoothed over with like happy hour after work, whatever it is that working people do. And yeah, it's about friendship. So you feel disconnected from this friendship that you used to have. For some of you, I guess I've been pushing this work narrative pretty strongly, but this could also just be problems within your friend group and not necessarily in the work realm, But the Three of Pentacles tells me that even if this is in a friend group, this is the friend group where you're like creating together, like you do projects together, you collaborate on art, you collaborate on things, you collaborate on something. And it used to be that it felt like this easy, fun, free-flowing Three of Cups, and now it feels like a fight, and like you just can't get through to each other and actually get on the same page about what to do. Your advice for the Hanged Man is the Hermit and the Tower reversed. So the Hanged Man, like I was saying earlier, you're not seeing the way in which being upside down is helpful to you and allows you to see things in a new perspective. And the Hanged Man is also about just giving it to the universe. When I was a kid and I used to be like worried about something and I would talk to my mom about it, my mom would just be like, just give it to God, pray and like explain your issue to God, and now it's God's problem. That sounds bad, like when you put it like that, but you know what I'm saying? So the Hanged Man reversed speaks of a resistance to just giving it to the universe, just letting go. And you have this Hermit here as right. I guess this really makes you think of the pandemic. It's hard for you to give it to the universe, to give up, because you recently had this reverse tower moment. And the reverse tower, sometimes I interpreted it as a kind of a chiller tower moment, not as bad of a tower moment, but here it's just a tower moment with resistance. There was a tower moment and you really did not want to go for it. And then you have the Hermit, right? So there was this tower moment that made us all become hermits and not be allowed to go out. And maybe you were one of the people that were like going out and like partying and going to bars and stuff. after the pandemic had already started, you know, once the restrictions started being like loosened, and now that they're being tightened up again, that's bringing you tension to your friend group or to your workplace again. So yeah, because you had this tower moment that forced you / us all into hermitness, that's why you're having trouble just like giving to the universe. But like the hermit here is telling me that you need to actually go deeper within yourself, you know. Even though we're all in isolation, or we all should be in isolation, this can be a moment to go deeper within yourself, you know, and like really examine your own spirituality, your own, like the deepest parts of you, you know, like the hermit, it's about like, he just like has this little lantern and his little stick, and he just goes up into the mountain and he just chills in the mountain completely by himself for ages, you know. This is a 9, so this is a long process, and then he, by doing that, he learns something about himself, and then he can come down from the mountain, you know. But you're not ready to come down from your mountain because you've been resisting this, you've been resisting whatever fell apart before, you've been trying to hold on to it, but it's not things. A tower moment is a tower moment, you know. Whatever was before the tower, that's not coming back, that's been struck by lightning, and you just gotta move on. Yeah. And then here, below the 5 of Wands, we have the 7 of Swords reversed. So like the 5 of Wands is about all this competition, right? And the 7 of Swords is about being like sneaky, and just kind of like can be about, I'm not getting a vibe of betrayal from this. Like, betrayal is a bit too strong of a word, even though it can sometimes be about that. But it's more like, yeah, just someone was being like sus, you know, just like sneaky in some way, and that like, but it came to light, right? That's why it's reversed. Like, whatever this person was doing, it like either fudging numbers for themselves for their own gain, or like if you have a client based sort of business, just like taking all the best clients for themselves. You see how this dude's like taking 5 swords while like looking behind him, making sure no one sees him. So like taking all the best clients for themselves, like not in the way that it's supposed to be done, you know, not following protocol in that way. And that's why now you're in this competition sort of vibe, because you feel like you can't trust each other because this other person, and honestly, this might even have been you know, just did the sneaky shit, you know? All right, so our first row is kind of where you're at. Our second row was the background information, and our third row is going to be the advice. So, really the juicy part. Okay, some advice for the 5 of Swords and reverse 3 of Pentacles. For blue pair people, please. It's the King of Pentacles. Some advice for the reverse Hanged Man for our blue pair people, please. I don't know if you saw that, but it's the Empress, and it like fell into my hands reversed, but I really wanted it to be upright, so I was like, come on, just fall on the floor, just fall on the floor. And then it fell upside down and I picked it up upright, so, you know, that was still spirit, you know, just with little aid from me. Yeah, the Empress upright. And then some advice for this 5 of Wands, please, Spirit. Some advice for this 5 of Wands, please, Spirit. So, your advice for your this kind of in fighting that's making it hard for you guys to get stuff done is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a very, very practical figure, and he's a king. And I feel like a really essential part of all the kings of the tarot is that they, like, a king doesn't make any decisions by himself, right? The king is very much not about acting alone. The King of Cups, for example, is very much about being compassionate towards other people. The King of Wands is about leading other people. And the King of Pentacles is about kind of teaching other people your, like, wise financial ways, you know? So regardless of your financial situation at the moment, you, like, know a lot about wealth and building material things, even if this Tower moment has caused you to lose that. You know, the King of Pentacles here is telling you to kind of lead by example. If you are calm and self-assured and just sure of your place in this company and in the world in general, there's nothing anyone can say that can make you feel less than, that can make you feel like, you know, these sort of like things that this other person says that are like, I win, you know, like, I'm smarter than you. Like, just don't listen to that shit. Just like rise above it, you know, you're a king. This isn't even like a page. This is like a squire, you know, this is literally just someone who picks up the swords. So why would a king listen to the opinion of just like the dudes who pick up the swords after practice, you know, like, what's that called in English? Like, you know, in soccer, when you have someone whose job is to just like go get the balls and bring the balls back, that's this, you know, and your person who brings the balls back is getting a little uppity, but you don't have to listen to that. But that doesn't mean like, you know, tell them off or whatever. Again, kings, very other people oriented. You can lead by example. You can show, in showing how unaffected you are by these comments, you start to bring new energy into your life. Like, if you don't give this attention, this won't grow, you know? So yes, your advice is just kind of like, rise above it. Remember that you're king. Remember your own power, which is actually the same advice as your next advice card, which is the Empress Upright. So the Empress is about creativity, it's about fertility, it's about the divine feminine, it's about coming into your own power. So you already kind of got some advice here with the Hermit to just, you know, take time to go within yourself. And this is just elaborating to tell you that your truest, deepest self is an Empress, is someone who creates. You are so creative. There is so much within you. Even if you've been more focused on the material world and creating wealth, so even if you've been focusing on the material world and not so much on like creativity and your passions, so you don't necessarily see the way in which you are the Empress, trust me, you are this Empress. Yeah, the advice of the Empress is just reminding yourself what a bad B asterisk T CH. Did I spell that right? Yes, I think so. You are, you know, you are, what is that, HBIC, you know, that other acronym. So just like, yeah, just go within yourself and remind yourself of your own power. And then your advice for this Five of Wands competition is the Hierophant reversed. The Hierophant upright is about like institutions, tradition. It's about institutions, traditions, you know. But reversed is about making your own rules, you know, making your own institutions, your own traditions, you know, when you're in this sort of like competitive mindset and just like fighting with other people for a piece of the pie, maybe because that is the company culture, you know, maybe that is encouraged within the company to have that sort of like top salesperson, you know, so you feel like you have to, you know, maybe that's what this Seven of Swords reversed was, you know, like there's this like sort of competitiveness is encouraged in the workplace, you know. But the Hierophant reversed here says like you make your own rules. You don't have to listen to that just because that is the company culture or the way things have been done before, you know. You can choose to do things your own way, your own imperial way. Yeah. All of these people are like sitting on their thrones, while basically all of these other cards, people are standing. Yeah. In all of these, it's people standing. Or people falling. So this again comes to that sort of like, you don't have to stoop to their level, you know. A king, an empress doesn't like rush over and like get distressed by whatever little thing the fucking squire brings up, you know. You stay seated in your seat of power and you make your own decisions and your own rules from there. You don't need to be fighting these petty battles. You don't need to be using underhanded methods. Just sit in your chair, stay on your chair, chill out, remember your own power. That is ultimately your advice. Amemos e vivamos. So that's paraphrase from Catullus's poem 5. It's the one that goes like, vivamos et amemos me lesbia, blah 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 blah. So it means let us live and let us love. So yeah, just let us live and let us love. Love and live. Sola docis facit venenum. Only the dose makes the poison. And that's kind of about this Five of Swords thing, you know, like a little bit of this Five of Swords energy isn't poison. Only the dose makes the poison, right? But if that's what you keep feeding into and what you keep bringing more into your life, the more poisonous it's going to be for you. Suos cultores scientia coronat. Lots of Latin for you guys. Yours were all Latin. I swear there's English word things in here too. Suos cultores scientia coronat. So this is like science or like knowledge crowns those who seek it, who like cultivate it, you know. So yeah, study yourself. That's the thing you have to study. You know, with these I don't interpret as much, you know, just you can, I feel like these are straightforward enough, you know. Just live, love, Don't have too much of things that are bad for you. And continue to pursue knowledge, and you will be crowned. So let's give you a quick recap now that we're done with your messages. So basically, you're struggling with fights at work and this general feeling of competitiveness. Not necessarily work, could also be some sort of, but just like when I say work here, it doesn't necessarily mean a job, but it does mean something that you are making with other people. And there's been some tension there, some like arguments and condescension, like people being condescending towards you, and competitiveness. And throughout this all, you have not giving it to the universe enough, or like trusted the universe enough. And the way to solve that is when people are petty, just be a king. You're like, not to quote Michelle Obama, but when they go high, you go low. No, that was wrong. When they go low, you go high. That's what I meant to say. And then here in this hanged man, giving it to the universe doesn't mean that you can't have the things that you want or that you don't have power. Like giving it to the universe means trusting that you can have the things that you want and that you have power and that you are this empress, like, yeah. And lastly, remember that you make your own rules. So you might be thinking like, how can I give to the universe and make my own rules at the same time? So this is in terms of like you make your own rules with regards to the like earthly plane, so like I was saying earlier, like company policy or company culture, like that. You make your own rules, but you do not make the rules of the universe. But the rules of the universe are on your side, so that's how I'm hopefully balancing that seeming contradiction to you, like you make your own rules in terms of what you do, but just trust the universe. This is a more emotional giving it to the universe. It doesn't mean that you're not gonna do the things that you want to do because you just have to let the universe do it. No, you're gonna do the things that you want to do because you trust that the universe will support you, so just trust the universe. And trust your own empress self. Make your own rules. Don't fall for other people's pettiness. Yeah. I hope this was helpful, my dear pear people. This gorgeous, gorgeous pear. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment telling me if this resonated or not. Let me know if you have any feedback, any follow-up questions, and I will answer your comment if I see it. Bye-bye.